Today I want to help you understand that not all seams are equal. We've got a project that I want to do today because I want you to understand that a seam line can be a design line or a fit line. So some seam lines have darts built into them and some do not. I have this dress that I grab, like it seems like I want to grab it every day, but I know not to wear the same thing every day, and you all know I don't need to wear the same thing every day. But it's comfortable, it's wonderful, and when I've looked at it and tried to figure out why, I figured this out. So I'm going to pass this all on to you. So this particular dress is nothing more than a tank dress. So you could use any base you wanted. It wouldn't matter if you used a tank base, or I'm going to make this whole thing number 105 De La Renta's top. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've got this amazing fabric and pulling all the parts and pieces together. This is the pattern that works the best, and I'll tell you why. So I've got this great circle fabric. I mean, it's just adorable. And it coordinates to a fabric called Second Skin. And if you don't know about Second Skin, it is a micro fabric that is supposed to be breathable, everything, like slice of heaven on earth. And they coordinate. So I've got this in a couple different colors, but I'm going to use the red. And so what I'm going to do is make Oscar de la Renta's like a tank dress. So I'm going to turn this De La Renta's top into a dress is what I'm going to do. So the French dart is going to be a seam or a seam line that actually has the fit built into it. You all know that. But then I'm going to add 10 inches to the bottom, but I'm going to do it in a different fabric so that it looks like a top and a skirt combined, but it's going to be a dress. I'm going to put the print at the bottom, and actually I'm just going to take the top portion to the bottom of the French dart. So wherever the bottom of your French dart is, I'm going to go 2 inches up on my pattern, and I'm going to make the rest of it the skirt. So I'm actually going to add 12 inches to the bottom portion, and same with the back. The sleeve is going to be out of the red. The red's going to be the top portion, and the red's going to be the sleeve. This is going to be the drape that goes over, and then the floral is going to be the skirt. So I'm going to add the 2 inches from the top plus 10 inches to make the length that I want it to be. And you could make it any length. If you want it longer, make it longer. You want to cover your legs, make it to the floor. It'd be adorable. Maxi dresses are still in for summer. But this is going to be quick to put on, very, very cool and comfortable, and yet it's going to look phenomenal. So even if you feel not like dressing, you're going to throw this on and it's going to feel amazing. So here's the little details again, because I'm just going to cut it out, go sew it, and then show it to you. The red is going to be the top because it's going to match the circle portion. I don't want to do the red as the bottom because there's too many cuts. So the red matching is the top and the sleeve with this hanging over, and then the floral is going to be the skirt. And this is the same floral I used for Candosa's top, but I love this floral. I've worn the Candosa's top and I just got so many compliments. I love it, love it, love it. So I've got a yard of the red, a yard of the floral, and a yard of the overlay. It's kind of what it's called. For 105, it's De La Renta's top. I want to show you one thing on cutting this. I'm going to move this away so that you can see. When I go to cut, because it's just a really fun fabric, the neck edge itself is going to be the red, and I'm going to sew it to the inside, lap it over to the outside, and then just stitch the 2 layers together. So that's really a fun little neckline finish. It's a raw edge. It's very contemporary, and I really like it. So that will finish the neck edge in the front and in the back. But along the side here, you see that what there are is there's circles, and these circles are sometimes not even. So I'm going to cut out everything that's not a whole entire circle. Like for instance, right there, you can see that that's not a whole circle. So I'm going back to where it's connected. I'm going to cut that off. This one's not a whole circle, so I'm cutting that off. And I'm showing you this up close, or where you can see it, because when I finish the garment, I want you to see that there was no hem in place. And I think sometimes we're skeptical to do this stuff. We're not quite sure how to finish it or how it will look. And I want to show it to you on the table, because what you can see is it's kind of uneven here, but it's going to look fabulous. You're not going to notice that, and all you're going to see is it's looking like it's straight. So everything that's not a full complete circle gets cut off. Okay, so when you go down to the next little section, you see that one's not full. So when you go to cut that one off, it kind of comes in a little bit. Cut it off. You're not going to leave anything that's not a full circle. The full circles are going to finish the edge of this. This is just a fun fabric. But really, anytime you're doing a fabric like this, don't think about how you're going to hem it. You're going to let the fabric hem itself. So you can see how that's an uneven edge there. It'll look great. That's why I want to show it to you now, so that when you actually see it, once I've made it, you'll see that you don't even notice that. It's just a really great look. All right, so I'm going to finish. I'm going to go all the way around, cut off all those circles that aren't finished, let it be uneven, let it stay uneven. I'm going to make the top portion just sew it just like it is, set in a sleeve. The sleeve's going to be red, and I'll show it to you when we get back. And I'm so excited because I won't have to reach for that same dress every day. I'll at least go to something that's new and a little bit more contemporary. All right, I'll be back. So I'm all done. I love it. Recognize that the type of seams we're talking about are the French dart, which has fit built into it, and then any seam line. I can make any seam line anywhere. I can cut it up, add seam allowance, put it back together. There's no fit incorporated in those seams, and it's just styling. So I can have so much fun with so many patterns. So many of you send me ideas, and they're great. They're just simply lines cut, seam allowance added, and put back together. So as you go through the concept, you want to understand which is which. Now, this is 105 made into a dress. And what I liked at the end is I felt like I liked it because of the line here. I felt like I liked the swag ending right at that line or about at that line. So I liked it better. It's pulled up a little bit. So I went through and made a little cascade I just made like a trim. And I did it by taking a single row and just going and cutting off a single row. This fabric is so much fun. So you can see there is how I got this, by just cutting off a single row. And then because I wanted it to have a little bit of gathering to it, or not gathering, that's not the right word, but I just wanted to pull it up a little bit. So I went through the whole thing and just tied a little bow. I actually tied a bow. And then that just pulls it up right about where the seam line is. Just fun, easy dress, just so comfortable. And again, cool for the summer. Happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.